What's going on, world? Welcome back to the TYSK Report. Thank you for being here. Of course, I got some great articles lined up on that docket, but before we begin, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, and let's go ahead and dive into our first article talking about OpenAI's operator. OpenAI's new operator AI agent can do things on the web for you. OpenAI has released a research preview of an AI agent called Operator that can go to the web to perform tasks for you, according to a blog post. Using its own browser, it can look at a web page and interact with it by typing, clicking, and scrolling, OpenAI says. It's launching first in the US for subscribers of OpenAI's $200 per month ChatGPT Pro tier. Operator can use reasoning to self-correct, and if it gets stuck, it will give the user control. It will also ask the user to take over when a website asks for sensitive information like login credentials, and should ask for a user to approve actions like sending an email. OpenAI also says the operator has been designed to refuse harmful requests and block disallowed content. OpenAI says it's collaborating with companies such as DoorDash, Instacart, OpenTable, Priceline, StubHub, Thumbtack, and Uber so that operator addresses real-world needs while respecting established norms. But the company does cautions that not everything might work as you expect just yet. The tool currently has problems with complex interfaces like creating slideshows or managing calendars. So last year, Anthropic talked about something related to this with their Claude AI model and how it is able to do similar things related to OpenAI's operator. But now, since we're here in the new year and it's the beginning of the year, lots of people were talking about this, showing the different capabilities that this operator was able to do. Now, from my perspective, when this gets to a point where it's going to be functional and seamless, things are really going to transform the way that we do things on a day-to-day basis. You are going to be able to have the opportunity to tell your AI agent or even structure out daily tasks for your AI agent to do on a day-to-day basis. So even thinking about that just now, that's going to be, man, very powerful. It's really going to give people the opportunity to change their lives. And when that time comes, there's going to be a huge shift globally. So as of right now, based on this article, I think this is the year of agents, and more companies are going to continue to make them better. It is going to be capable to do even more than the example that was shown in this video. Let's move on to the next article. Kodiak has made its first driverless truck deliveries to customer Atlas Energy. Kodiak Robotics has officially handed off 2 autonomous trucks to customer Atlas Energy Solutions, marking the startup's first commercial launch. Atlas, a provider of sand and oil field logistics, received its first Kodiak-equipped trucks in December and began driverless operations in an off-road environment in West Texas' remote Permian Basin shortly after. The company has already delivered 100 loads using self-driving trucks without a human safety driver behind the wheel, according to Kodiak's founder and CEO, Don Burnett. Until now, Kodiak has performed commercial pilots for customers on highways with human safety drivers behind the wheel. But during those pilots, Kodiak-owned trucks ran freight on behalf of the shippers or carriers. Now the goal is to sell the AI driver as a solution to companies like Atlas, and Kodiak, in other words, don't want to run their own shipping operations in the long run, but rather focus on selling the self-driving technology. Atlas, which operates across the 7,500 square mile Permian Basin in Texas and New Mexico, plans to scale its driverless trucking deployments over the course of the year, so Kodiak has established an office in nearby Odessa, Texas to support Atlas operations. So when it comes to self-driving vehicles, we always hear about robo-taxis, but we can't forget about the trucks because companies are still working on expanding this and making it even more seamless. And as you can see from that article with Kodiak, they were able to have some successful trial runs without a human safety driver. So this is going to pick up even more as they do more testing, and with the technology that they are able to implement into these trucks for different companies, we could see this technology take off for Kodiak, where the likes of a DHL or another company hauling freight across the highways of the US is going to want this technology as well, because it gives that company more opportunity to move that freight from one place to another without having to worry about the things that comes with having a human driver behind the wheel. So as time time moves along, I wonder at what point in the future this technology gets to a point where it's going to replace a lot of truck drivers. Also, we can't forget about how more and more truck drivers are also retiring from their jobs and their careers. There's still a demand that needs to be filled, so maybe this technology is needed to where it can fill that demand and contribute to the trucking industry without having to remove anyone from their current job. In the next article we have, Bill Gates' nuclear energy startup inks new data center deal. TerraPower, a nuclear energy startup founded by Bill Gates, struck a deal last week with one of the largest data center developers in the US to deploy advanced nuclear reactors. TerraPower and Sabi Data Centers are working together on a plan to run existing and future facilities on nuclear energy from small reactors. Tech companies are scrambling to determine where to get all the electricity they need for energy-hungry AI data centers that are putting growing pressure on power grids. They're increasingly turning to nuclear energy, including next-generation reactors that startups like TerraPower are developing. A memorandum of understanding signed by the two companies establishes a strategic collaboration that'll initially look into the potential of new nuclear power plants in Texas and the Rocky Mountain region that would power SDC's data centers. There's still a long road ahead before they can become a reality. The technology, TerraPower, and similar nuclear energy startups still have to make it through regulatory hurdles and prove that they can be commercially viable. In the case of TerraPower, TerraPower's reactor design for this collaboration, Natrium, is the only advanced technology of its kind with a construction permit application for a commercial reactor pending with the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, according to the company. The company just broke ground on a demonstration project in Wyoming last year and expects it to come online in 2030. So that article pointed out how these AI data centers are going to need so much energy that now many companies are looking towards nuclear power to be the savior and giving them that energy that they are going to need. Also, when it comes to nuclear power, it is said that China is way farther ahead than the US. I'm not sure how true that is, but if they are going to have a significant advantage over the US when it comes to powering whatever ambitions they have related to artificial intelligence, data centers, and all the other technology that is continuing to be designed and developed over in China. So this is going to be very important, and TerraPower could play a very key role in helping the US. But one thing to think about is in different articles, it talked about how in 2027 they won't have the energy needed, but this is supposed to come out in 2030. So I do wonder what's going to happen if no nuclear power is around and companies can only rely on solar power or wind turbines or other energy sources outside of nuclear energy. So as time moves along, we shall see how things play out. And if any other information arises related to nuclear power or other energy sources, I'll make sure to keep you updated. In the next article, we have Google. Google buys part of HTC's Vive VR team for $250 million. Google is paying HTC $250 million in cash for a deal that would give the bigger company's plans for Android XR a boost. Under the terms of their agreement, some members of the HTC Vive engineering team will join Google, which describes them as an incredibly strong technical team with a proven track record in the VR space. In addition to absorbing certain Vive team members, Google will also get a non-exclusive license to use HTC's extended reality technologies. HTC can still use its own IPs, and it vows to continue developing and supporting its XR headsets. Google says the deal will help its acceleration across the headset and glasses ecosystem. The company did lay out a vision for a unified Android XR ecosystem in December, which will span a range of virtual and mixed reality headsets and glasses. So that's just an update from Google and their XR ambitions, and I think what Google is planning to build out could really change the way that people interact with the virtual reality world, and they might be able to design and build out a product that people might want to gravitate to outside of the likes of a Meta Head Quest or their Ray-Ban glasses or an Apple Vision Pro headset or the other headsets out there. So maybe the glasses are going to be the entryway that is going to get people interested, and then with that interest, as they use it more and more, they could graduate towards a headset. But then on the other side, maybe people will want to jump into a headset because of what Google could provide at that time. So we shall see what happens next with this, and I will make sure to keep you updated. Let's move on to the next next article talking about music. Roly finally introduces a larger teaching piano keyboard complete with AI. Roly introduced the simply named Piano at NAMM, a 49-key smart keyboard that's primarily intended for learners but has some neat bells and whistles for experienced musicians. Its features light up keys across all octaves to help newbies get a handle on chords. These keys will also glow to show scales, arpeggios, and more. It's basically a larger version of the company's beloved Piano M teaching keyboard. This is also a modern tech device, so Roly stuffed in some AI tools. The Piano AI assistant uses generative AI to streamline the learning process. The company says it can help players get started with drills, teach music history, and even go over theory. This tech will be improved upon as the year goes on via software updates. The Roly Piano also offers some neat integration with the company's recently released Airwave keyboard teaching tool. This theremin-like device tracks a player's fingers and sends teaching data to a tablet. The Airwave is also an instrument in its own right, as users can raise their hands like a conductor to create and play sounds. So this seems like a very cool tool that could be utilized for piano enthusiasts or even children who want to learn to play the piano. And as AI technology continues to advance, it's going to be implemented into all types of things. So at some point we could see learning transform to where a student could be interacting with strictly AI, not only for their curriculum, but also for their extracurricular activities within schools nowadays. And maybe even the schools themselves will have these type of keyboards available to students to where they will have their own AI assistant to teach them how to become an expert when it comes to playing the piano. So if you are someone who likes playing the piano, or if you're a musician out there, comment down below in the comment section and let me know your thoughts, because I do wonder if you think this device could be beneficial to people who want to learn how to play the piano. In the next article, we have robotics and laboratory automation. Agilent Technologies and ABB collaborate on laboratory automation. ABB Robotics and Agilent Technologies said they have agreed to cooperate in delivering laboratory automation. The company said they will combine their technologies to help companies across sectors to make processes such as research and quality control faster and more efficient. Laboratories are under increasing pressure to accelerate research and speed up time to market while meeting strict quality requirements, said ABB. The company said that it and Agilent will jointly provide systems to automate repetitive, labor-intensive tasks such as sample handling, testing, and data processing to enable faster time to market. ABB said its collaboration with Agilent is part of its efforts to work to expand automation into new industry segments by working with technology partners to build complementary innovations. Alright, so a key word to point out from that article was the word speed. Within different industries, they're going to be looking to pick things up and make processes faster, and in order to do that, technology is going to be needed. So this does make a lot of sense related to implementing this technology, and we could see more companies within the research industry do the same thing as Agilent Technologies. Let's move on to the next article. JetBrains launches Junie, a new AI coding agent for its IDEs. JetBrains, the company behind coding tools like the IntelliJ IDE for Java and Kotlin, recently launched Junie, a new AI coding agent. This agent, the company says, will be able to handle routine and development tasks for when you want to create new applications and understand the context of existing projects you may want to extend with new features. Using the well-regarded SWE Bench Verify benchmark of 500 common developer tasks, Junie is able to solve 53.6% of them on a single run. Not too long ago, that would have been the top score, but it's worth noting that at this point, the top performing models score more than 60% with weights and biases. Programmer 01 Crosscheck 5 currently leading the pack with a score of 64.6. JetBrains itself calls Junie's score promising. AI-generated code can be just as flawed as developer-written code. Ultimately, Junie will not just speed up development, it is poised to raise the bar for code quality too. By combining the power of JetBrains IDEs with LLMs, Junie can generate code, run inspections, write tests, and verify they have passed. So I am not an expert in coding, but when reading this article, I'm thinking about how this could possibly grow and scale to a point where something like Junie could take on on the role of a developer. Now, there have been multiple articles, videos, podcasts of different people in the field talking about how it's not going to replace developers, and it may not. But then again, nothing is truly certain. And if Junie is able to do all those different things that a developer can do as this agent technology continues to grow and become better and advance, could this be something that developers within the industry would need to worry about? So if you are a developer, I would love to get your thoughts. Comment down below in the comment section on what you think about this article and the Junie AI coding agent. So that's just some of the latest news when it comes to the world of technology. I hope you enjoyed the video, and to continue to stay informed, check out these two videos right here. Let me know what you think down in the comment sections of those videos, and stay tuned for the next video.